Hello. Okay, I don't know how many of you are going to be here now, and but I'm still going to do the video so that you can come back and learn from it. So now the question is this: we're going to talk today about Tantra and what Tantra is all about. So basically, what Tantra gives us. Tantra provides us the understanding of Shakti, or the universal energy necessary for deep changes to occur within our psyche. Okay, it's like it illuminates our path beyond the darkness of spiritual ignorance. Now, this is not Tantra where you sit down and learn intellectual wise, but it's about the journey for going within, what is known as inner Shakti yoga. So the method that came through me is Paratan Inner Shakti Yoga. In India, it's known as Shakti Inner Yoga. Okay, so the inner yoga is about going within, finding God within us, not exploring a God outside of us. This is the big difference between the God outside and the God within. This is all about going within, finding the goddesses within us. It's very important that we understand that when we practice Tantra. Okay, it's not like, oh, I'm spiritual because I do yoga. This is not about doing yoga. And also, since I mentioned yoga, remember the Hatha yoga is only there to prepare you for the deeper transformation. It is only a preparation. It's not an end. It's not the end product. I mean, you don't do Tantra for the next Hatha Yoga for the next 20 years and think that you're on a spiritual path. And then you find that after 10 years, you're still in the beginning. There's nothing spiritual about you other than you are fit. Because today, whether you are in the West or even now in the East, yoga has become like yoga went from India to the US and the West. And somehow it's come back to India with the framework of what it is in the West. You know, when you hear, now you go to Rishikesh, you find Indian yoga schools giving 200-hour teachers training. How can anyone learn yoga in 200 hours? I find it a joke when they do that, when they say to you, oh, you can become a yogi teacher after 200 hours. For me to be even good in yoga, when I could understand every move I made in the yoga asana, it took me a long time to realize the magic of yoga. And it took me years of practice. And here today, they're doing 200 hours, 300 hours to become a yoga teacher. The same thing with Tantra. In the West, Tantra is about sex and better sex. I laugh when I hear the word better sex. Is better sex going to make you a better couple? No. Better sex is like gymnastics. There is no depth. There is no connection. It's fun. You have, you have an excitement. There's adrenaline. Yes, I agree. There's fun in it. But The reality is this: is there any connection in it? Do you actually fall in love with the person? Do you experience the spirit of the other person? You're too busy trying to please each other. So much so you don't actually feel the spirit of the other person. And I've found many tantric, neo Tantra, Western tantric teachers, they have no clue about what they're doing. Even making love, it's a magic. I remember when I was in DC doing a massage course, and there's a woman who's supposed to be a tantric. Because I was Indian, so she came as well. And she was shocked that I didn't have feathers and all sorts of things to do massage. She asked me where's the feathers and all this, the roses and petals, and I said, no, the magic is in your fingers and in you, not on the feathers and not on the petals. So this whole thing is this, they take it away from you and your spirit. Remember that all your nadis end in your fingers, in your palm and your feet, and they are magic. The energy that you bring out of it speaks for you, expresses what you are, and make you feel the connection with each other. Okay? It's not about feathers and not about, giving someone fun, but actually trying to connect with the other person. When you do massage, you don't do massage. Either you do it for healing purposes, or you do it with a partner to connect, not just the physical, but the spirit inside the person. Because only spirits can talk to another spirit. You are basically a spirit within a physical body. So what happened is this: you have forgotten the spirit and you're focusing on the physical body. So when you focus on the physical body, you're not going to go anywhere. So when you want to learn about yoga, the inner yoga, Paratan inner Shakti yoga, you're talking about learning how to know your spirit, how to go into your spirit. And then you'll find the Mahavidya goddesses that are within your spirit alive for you. They would bring life into your life. You become more alive, more joyful, the energy is enormous. The question is this: are you ready for this enormous journey? Or do you want to just keep on going like a blind person without any, and do what the commercial system makes you do? Okay? Are you going to be limited? Or do you want to be that beautiful spirit you are? Okay, the important thing is this: do you want to be that beautiful spirit? Do you want to attain that height in your spiritual journey? That's the most important thing. Being a biological person is not a great thing. And if you've taken up yoga, at least, there is a sense that you want to do, you want a better life. You want to change your life. But the only way you can change your life is if you look for your spirit. Then when you do Hatha yoga, you got to do inner yoga as well. With inner yoga, the only way of doing inner yoga is through mantras. Not the ones that you click on YouTube nowadays and you can. Om Bhu Bhuhaswaha Tat Saviturvarenyam. Or you go Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namah Om. Now they are good entertainment. Bhajans they make you happy, they give you a sense beauty, but it doesn't allow you to grow. Whereas when you try this, when you do Om Harim Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namah Om. So when you train your voice and then you do the mantra, you find that you get that feeling, that growth very fast. You can feel it fast. You can feel in you the magic of the sound. Otherwise, you're just doing surface job, like don't follow all the people who entertain you. Okay, there's no fun in entertainment. Now this week what we're going to do is we're going to speak about also, you're going to do the mantra for Dhumavadi. Why isn't it one thing? Mm-mm. No, the thing is I'm trying to, I think it only takes one line, 2 lines. So what I'll do is I'll only give you the mantra, but not the explanation as well. I'll explain to you. What's happening here again? Now this is okay. This is a bit, it doesn't want to do what I want it to do. I'm new to using Google, using YouTube. So it's a matter of getting used to it. Okay, when I put only one line, it does work. Okay, the first thing is we want to do mantra from Mother Dhumavadi, okay? So last week we did the first, a few of them. Today we'll do Dhumavadi. And then I want to do a few other things so that I still keep doing the goddesses so you don't miss out, okay? Dhumavadi is a very unique character in the Mahavidya goddesses. She's a grandmother, so like all grandmothers, they can be very strict, but they can also gives you blessings as well. So it's with her, it's like she's good fortune that comes through us from misfortune. So you get misfortune, then you get fortune. And she does that for you. She's a grandmother spirit. She's a great teacher. You then you learn through her. You learn the lesson of birth and death, which is very important in yoga. Okay, it's very important in yoga to understand the concept of birth and death. Her mantra is essentially a name, okay? Dum, dum, dum. So you go, Om, dum, dum, dumavadi swaha. Om, dum, dum, dumavadi swaha. Om, dum, 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 dumavadi swaha. So then you find that you've got to get her energy to go right through your whole body. So when you do the dum, dum, you can feel it resonating in your body. That's when you actually gain a lot out of doing a mantra. Then we have another very important goddess. Now she plays a big role in our life. Is Chinnamasta. Okay, Goddess Chinnamasta is very important, especially women that shave. Remember that she is the protector that energizes the pubic hair so that your vagina stays healthy. Because your vagina is the gateway to the womb. It's not a pleasure object. It's a divine space that's worthy of being worshipped, not abused. Whether the abuse comes from both. Men can abuse the vagina, so can women. So it doesn't matter who abuses it, it is not for abuse. Now, when you do Chinnamasta mantra, is again. Now, with Chinnamasta mantra, there is an element of karma, which is pleasure. There's element of Ida and Pingala. And then there's the Rajaguna, Sattva Guna, and Tamasic Guna. So her mantra virtually works on all the elements, plus the essence of the second chakra. That is why some pictures, when you see Kamadeva and his wife on top of each other, and then you have Chinnamasta on top of that, standing 1 foot, I think. So that's what the Chinnamasta is all about. So her mantra is very important. So when you do the mantra, when you do the Om, you want the energy of Om to go from your third eye down through your whole body. Then you do Shreem, you want it on the left side of your spine. When you do Hreem, you want it in the right side of your spine. And the other Hreem again, you want it to travel down the central channel. Then when it goes down to your second chakra, then you bring back everything with the Aim to your third eye. So basically, you send the energy down, and then you come up, like the serpent that goes up to you. So you go down and take her up on the journey, and bring her up to the third eye. Okay. So there's a lot to focus when you do Chinnamasta, but when you keep practicing for a while, you find that you get used to this. You get used to the energy, and then you'll understand. There you go. Om Shri. Vajravairocini. Hum, pat, swaha. Om Shri Hrim Hrim Aim Vajravairocini. Hum, pat, swaha. So I forgot to mention, the second Hrim is Swaswasumna. So you have Ida, Pingala, and Swasumna in the three mantras, okay? Om Shri Vajravairocini. Hum, pat, swaha. So when you do the Chinnamasa mantra, always remember that you need the energy to travel along your spine, for Shrim, along your spine. Shrim on the left side of your spine, Hrim on the right side of your spine, and another Hrim in the center, which is Swasumna. So you need to have these three energies moving together. Then you find that they go right to the depth of your being. Now, the next one you want to do is Baglamuki. She is very powerful. She prevents people from talking bad about you, acting against you, doing nasty things to you. But remember that all of these mantras, if you don't do it with total passion, total commitment, and you don't send them into your body, it's not going to do anything outside of your body as well. It has to react because you are the microcosm. The goddesses are the microcosm and the macrocosm. So when you connect with them inside of you, they connect with the outer element of their self as well. So they bring you closer to the universe from within you. So you need to focus, you need to have the passion to do it. Okay. Om Hrim Baglamuki Sarvadushtanam Vacham Muham Padam Stambaya Jivam Kilaya Burim Vinaya Hrim Om Swaha Om Hrim Baglamuki Sarvadushtanam Vacham Muham Padam Stambaya Jivam Kilaya Burim Vinaya Hrim Swaha. If you don't want to do the long version of it, you can do basic, because the main emphasis is the Hrim, okay, not anything else. The rest of it is saying about stopping someone talking to us, and Jivam, you want to, it's about speech. So instead of going all along, the hill ream is the one that has the power to do this stopping. So you can go hill ream, Baglamuki swaha, hill ream, Baglamuki swaha, hill ream, Baglamuki swaha. So you can shorten it, or you can do the long version of it. So the choice is yours as to how you want to do it. Like as long as you do the bija sound. For Baglamuki, you get the full result of what she can offer you. So you don't have to go and do the long version of her mantra. Because her seed sound is hill rim. Okay. So when you use the word hill rim, it has the power to stop things. She is radiant, she's beautiful, and she's and powerful. And she stops people's egoistic words against you, and she's got the power of speech as well. She also grants you the power to speak. She's beautiful. Okay, and she's also in the yoni, the right lip of the yoni of the vagina, and she's in the heart chakra. Okay, she plays a lot of roles. She plays in the throat chakra, your heart chakra, and also in the yoni. This is something special about women. Okay, with women, the energy is in all. It's in the yoni. It's within the womb. Sorry. When I say yoni, that means in the from the pubic hair right up to the third eye, and then the crown chakra. We men don't have the same privilege because our mission is not to create children, because the womb, okay, is the area where a soul can enter. So then the passageway for the soul to enter, and also the history of the soul to enter. So it has to enter through the mother. That's why when you look at a pregnant woman, she's always radiant. Because then she is really a goddess, priestess. She brings forth that she gives a passageway for souls to come to this world. So for that reason, you find that you have all the Mahavidya goddesses. You have Chinnamasa on the pubic hair. You have Matanji on the right side of the lips. Left lip. You have Baglamuki on the right lip. And then at the entrance, you have Kali, you have Naganandini, you have Kali and Naganandini. And inside, you have Chinnamasta, not Chinnamasta, you have Tripura Sundari, Kamlamika, Bhuneswari, all of them are inside the womb. What I call the divine architects within the womb. Because we take for granted, you have sex, a woman gets pregnant, 9 months, her stomach keeps growing. And then you go, and nowadays you go to the doctor and say, can you tell me whether it's a boy or a girl? And they ultra scan, and they tell you what the sex of the child is. In India, they don't allow that. Not because they don't want you to know, it's that they don't want you to have an abortion if it's a girl. Because in some parts of India, having a girl, to all parts of India, having a girl is not they find it difficult if they have too many girls, because then they have to find the money to get them married. So in the north, there's a lot of wrong things happening. But in the south, I don't know, because my experience is in the south, and none of them seems to be talking or doing things like that. At least the village that I was involved in, the neighboring villages. And so having a child is a blessing. Also remember, women who are here and men, their children are the ones that bless you with parenthood. For the women, motherhood; for men and women, parenthood. So it's not you who give them the blessing. They give you the blessing. So learn to honor that blessing and learn to be caregivers. Your job is to caregive, not to mold them. Because they came here to mold themselves. They came here on a mission to fulfill their destiny. You only get the privilege to be part of their journey. Not all the way, because you won't live that long. Unless the children leave before you. In normal circumstances, you don't outlive your children. So, and if the soul comes and leaves early, it's a blessing as well. Because if you look at most of the great masters, they didn't live for long, like Jesus Christ and all that. They didn't stay on earth for a long time. Adi Shankar, Jesus, and so many others, they've never stayed long enough. And then there are masters that stayed for a very long time. Depends whether you fulfill your journey. For me, I find that I have not fulfilled what I came here to do. So I'm trying hard. I never give up. Because I've been talking about women reclaiming their powers for the last 45 years. I agree it's not an easy job. But if a collective group of women come together and decide to do it with only remembering that spirit will communicate with spirit. And if you work on the basis of spirit, not the ego, if you get 10 women, from the 10, another 10 each from them, eventually you find that you'll get thousands of them within a matter of 10 years. There's a big reason why women have to reclaim themselves. Because a woman would not like to see the children, but she has to become spiritual first. She has to attain her grace before she becomes. Because if she's not in grace, then sometimes she can be more dangerous than men. So she'll always want to prove herself worthy. Because the men will be always testing her. But this is an irony. Men have always feared women. One of the fundamental reasons why patriarchal society became viable is because men were frightened of women. They needed to suppress them to feel okay about it. So they have, now what women have to do is this, not fight with men. Know that you're stronger. And you can determine what you have to become the boss again. Like I think in the Hawaiian women and some Aboriginal tribes, the women are the bosses. And you find they're very harmonious. No trouble. We men, we think too much. So the whole process, everything we do is from our brains. That's how this coronavirus thing happened. Because they always want to, I mean, it's simple as this. DNA, thousands of years ago, actually, I don't know about thousands of years ago. I know in 420 something, Bodhidharma wrote about DNA. Okay? Me as a healer, I mean, I've been talking about inner Shakti yoga and the healing power and healing touch and how to use mantras and how these mantras are going to be pronounced. And for the last 45 years. So the question here is this, are people really interested in changing? I would believe they want to change and they need to change. Because as I've said, the men are going to destroy the world. And when they try to destroy the world, you're going to suffer a lot more. Every man wants a woman in his life. The power of the yoni is very powerful. If you make a person lie down on your yoni, on your lap, okay, but the head actually touching the yoni, even if they're not thinking about the yoni, they're not thinking about your vagina, they're just lying down, wanting to rest. Within a few seconds, they go deep. That's the power of the second chakra. We all men need women because you are the custodian of the womb. So you don't have to look to go back to the womb. But men, we came from the womb. We want to go back there. So there is a dynamic that's what the Creator did, okay? Not the fault of men and not the fault of women. That's what the creation is all about. You look at the animals, you look at every species, there is this magic. But the human have lost the magic because they tried to change the ways. They first tried to control women. I mean, in a lot of countries, they make sure that the women hide themselves completely with only the eyes. Not because that they don't want the woman to be seen by anybody else. They don't want to be tempted. So it is their weakness that makes this happen. If you can't handle a woman's beauty, then you have a problem. If you can appreciate a woman's beauty, you don't have a problem. So what happened is this men, out of fear, I mean, if you say sexually, a woman can take on 2-3 men in a row. A man cannot even satisfy one woman, leave alone 2-3 women. But today's world, you find a lot of the men want more than one. because there is something wrong with our relationship with each other. So there's a lot of questions you've got to ask yourself. Okay, when you're watching this video, ask yourself a lot of questions. Where do I want to go? Do I want to become, or do I want to suffer like what everybody else is suffering? Or do I want to do better? Do I want a better life? That's the important thing. And then if you want an important life, then Tantra is for you. Now, the next mantra I like to do is Matanji. She is very important because we need wisdom. What's lacking in society now is wisdom. Okay, there's a long version of a mantra and there's a short one. This one is better because, again, this is not like Baglamuki mantra where you find a lot of that talking about the Sayyid Muhammad and all that. Whereas, same thing with Matanji. But then there's a nice, easier way, but which is basically Bija mantras. You go, I'm Harim, I'm Shri Matangeshwari Swaha. I'm Harim, I'm Shri Matangeshwari Swaha. I'm Harim, I'm Shri Matangeshwari Swaha. When you do her mantra, you got to make sure that the sound is between your throat chakra and your third eye. So you don't do long AI, long HRI things. So you do short ones so that they travel within that two space, the third eye and the throat. Because that's very important. And she's about, Matanji is about, she's the same as Mother Saraswati, okay, which is wisdom, learning, teaching, and most important thing, enhancing your voice. And the guru and inner guide. She plays a lot of roles, but the most important thing, she also gives it the power of speech. If you notice, you will notice one thing. If you start learning about the Mahavidya goddesses, a lot of them to do with speech. Because our speech can either destroy us or to make us. Next come a very important person. Okay, that is Kamlamika. Okay, she is about inner prosperity, joy. You can't have wisdom without her. You can't have love without her. So basically, the three goddesses are intertwined. Matanji, Bhuvaneswari, and Kamlamika. Or Matanji, Tripura Sundari, and Kamlamika. In any one of them, you find that the Hreem Bija mantra is for all the goddesses under Parvati, except for Matangi and Kamlamika. But even with them, if the long version of Matangi's mantra is Om Harim Aim, then only goes into the mantra. So the Bija mantras are there, and Shreem, sorry. Then the Bija mantras are there. So in everything, the Bija. So what, to make it all simple, instead of singing praise of God, the goddesses, they don't need you to praise them. They need you to connect with them. The only way you can connect with them is through their Bija mantras. They're the seed sound of the goddess. So you have mantra, yantra, and then only the goddess. So you go, you want all the sound to go to the heart chakra. So you go, Shreem, Harim, Shreem, Aim, Kamlamika Swaha, Shreem, Harim, Shreem, Aim, Kamlamika Swaha. So you have Kamlamika that way. Then when you have all of the goddesses, you find that eventually that you invoke them within your body. This is a free one. Like, if you want to learn more, you have to come to one of my online classes, because I do one-to-one online class where I actually train you. I watch your voice and I keep. You see, the thing is when you begin, you want to do a certain tone. When you go a bit further, you want to do another tone, because one is to chip away all the clouds in your body. Okay, all our emotions, all our anger, everything we express wrongly, all of them create clouds in our body. They prevent the expression of each of the chakras as you keep going. One of the thing that most people can know straight is when the heart chakra is closed, the palm of the hands are cold a bit. And when the second chakra and the base chakra is closed, you find your feet becomes very cold. And being cold is one thing, but discoloration is another thing. That's getting a bit more unhappiness inside, a lot of clouds. So you need to get rid of this. You need to go beyond that. You need to clear the clouds. So you need the sound to go in, and then there's a variation of the sound. Sometimes a student takes 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks sometime more than that, just to get that part of the clouds missing. And then when you get to that stage, then you have to change the way you do the mantras. Then when you go to another stage, you got to change the mantra, way you do the mantras. They go deeper and deeper and deeper, until they go into the spine and move along the spine totally, not all of them. Some people can do it very fast. Some people take longer, depending on what your pain level is. Whether you've been abused. There's so many varying reasons why we have pain. So we need to learn how to change our lives. Okay. Now, So we have done all the Mahavidya goddesses again this time. So those who have been following me for a while would notice that I've done it again, because they come under the element. The element, they also control the elements in our body, and they also control the energy flow in the chakras. For women, they also controls how your womb functions. Things like, there's a lot of illnesses in the womb today, which is not natural. It is not natural for women to have menstrual pain. And the fibroids and the tumor and cancer and all of that is created by emotions. And there are two versions of my teaching. Okay, one, when I'm talking online, I can't teach you the physical side, but you can actually sound someone and heal them of cancer, tumor, whatever. It takes a while. It takes a joint venture between you and the patient or student. And women who can't have babies, not because they are unhealthy, but then not the doctors can never find why they can't have the children. They say everything is okay with you, but don't worry, you'll get pregnant. But then they never get pregnant, because what happened is this: the womb doesn't have the energy to receive the new soul. And then you have some that can receive the soul but can't keep it. Then they have miscarriages. So, and sound can change that. I mean, for us, my wife was one of them, because she had some problem that comes from animals. That they say cat, but then she didn't have a cat. She only had a dog. When you're too close to these animals, there's a bacteria that would eject, that affects the womb. We only knew after she was already pregnant, and around a few months before her delivery, 2 months before her delivery, when we went to see the doctor and got a blood test, and she said, she gave us a whole bunch of medicine, and we said no. And yeah, my daughter made it up, and she's now going to be 15 in November, and strong and good. So Bija mantras, you sound someone, it's different impact. When you do it yourself, it's different impact. When you do it yourself, it takes longer. When somebody else does it for you, it takes a shorter period. But they have to know how to do it. And it's not easy. But it's not very difficult if you have love and passion. So remember one thing. This is for people who really want to grow spiritually. And with this coronavirus and things are happening, when you vaccinate yourself, then the chances that you get attacked again, it's a bit more severe. You may not die because of that, but you definitely feel that severity, because your immune system is not as strong as it used to be. So you need to build your immune system. You need to build energy within your body that can resist anything and everything. And for that, Bija mantras are absolutely necessary. And the biggest plus mark is you get a lot of energy and you don't feel old. So when you're getting to my age and you still want that strong energy. Okay, thank you for being here. I like to say vanakkam, and I'll see you next week again. And hope next week I don't get in trouble with the setup again. Sorry for the interference. And see you next week. Vanakkam.